let's understand the cloud platforms, right? So generally in market, the famous or the popular cloud providers are AWS, Amazon, and then we have Microsoft Azure, and then we have Google Cloud Platform, right? Among those, these two are little popular. Among these two, this has most market share, and it has more number of services compared to remaining two. AWS is growing like anything. They have come up with blockchain related, they have come up with machine learning, they have come up with quantum, they have IoT specific. Anything new technology you talk about, AWS is integrating that. AWS is providing facilities for us, right? So we are going to talk about AWS platform today. We are going to understand what all services do AWS provide with specific to IoT, which can be used for doing some business functionality with IoT. Okay, how is this used? See, we have a lot of IoT devices, right? There is AWS IoT core, which is coming into the picture in the between, right? The data from these devices through the AWS IoT facility or the SDK what I was talking about, right? The data is loaded into the cloud. It might be loaded into the S3 bucket or in DynamoDB, and then I write some Lambda function, I do some streamline processing, right? I derive some analytics. So we have a lot of AWS services. We have seen, right? Using those AWS services, whatever data has been received from the IoT devices is the storage processing is done, right? So AWS offers IoT services and solutions to connect and manage billions of devices. Okay, collect, store and analyze IoT data for industrial, consumer, commercial and automatic workloads from any different stream, let it be. AWS has the facility to collect and store and do the analysis of the data. Okay, AWS IoT provides the cloud services that connect your IoT devices to other devices and AWS cloud services. Okay, so we'll understand it more one by one. So this is the AWS IoT architecture. If you want to execute, if you want to use AWS for your IoT projects, you want to store some data, derive some insights, these are the facilities or these are the services in the AWS which will be used frequently. So Kinesis video streams, IoT events, IoT site-wise, IoT analytics, fleet-wise, twin maker, right? This is for digital twins. This is for digital twins, one important plugin what we have. Then IoT core, device defender, device management, right? Green grass, express link, SDKs, all those we are going to study one by one. Okay, we have already seen these plugins there, right? So this one diagram, if you understand, this one picture by AWS, right? AWS for IoT stack. Okay, see here, to device and design part we have to use these services. To connection and managing part we have to use this. For analysis and action we have to use this, right? And specific to industry, few industry, we have to go for this. Okay, right? And for everything there is IoT device defender. This is for security. This is for security purpose, right? So along this only these are IoT services, purpose built AWS IoT services. They have some specific work, they have some specific reason, right? Only these things are specific to IoT in the AWS. However, we use some other cloud services like ML, AI, analytics, compute, containers, database, storage, networking, security. We need this anyhow with IoT, because I want to store data, I want to run some ML algorithm, I want to write some Lambda functions, right? For that these are common AWS services, but only specific to AWS we have these many set of features or services in the AWS, right? So let's see each one of them one by one. What are these? What is AWS IoT core? What is this Kinesis used for? Kinesis used for stream processing. Okay, we'll see the practical also, and also we'll try to understand theoretically what are all each of these stuff. Right. Next, okay, First one, AWS IoT Analytics. I will start with this, the most important one, AWS IoT Analytics. Before I explain all that theory, let me come to the practical working of AWS IoT Analytics. It is a service in AWS, right? What is the job of this? AWS IoT Analytics simplifies the difficult steps required to analyze massive volumes of IoT data. Okay, without the cost and complexity of building and separate platform. You need not build any separate hardware platform. AWS IoT Analytics is a special plugin which helps in analyzing massive volumes of huge volumes of data. How does it works? Let's see this IoT Analytics, right? Run and operationalize sophisticated analytics on massive volumes of data. How does it do? First step is collect. Collect device data in a variety of formats and frequencies. Data is coming from different millions of IoT devices in different formats, right? Then process, transform and enrich messages with external sources. You do some processing here. Then after that, time series data storage. We are storing the data in the what we say, in the storage. Okay, store data in a time series format for quick analysis. See, IoT device is coming along with time stamp, 10 minutes, 01, 15 second, one message came. Then again 10 minute, 02, maybe 01, 45, there came one more message. So this time specific data, time series data, whatever we are having, we are storing them in the database. Then we will do the analysis. How we do this? We run SQL queries and use pre-built models and custom analysis to perform ML and make predictions, right? Build your own custom analysis, run standard SQL queries, run machine learning analysis. Anything you want to do, you can do it. And then ultimately we build the model, means we create analytics and reports. Okay, so AWS IoT Analytics is a service where I can load the data, I can do the pre-processing, I can store it in a particular format, then I can run all my machine learning algorithms or my SQL queries on that data, and I can generate the reports. All these are possible with AWS IoT Analytics. Okay, let's understand that now what it does. Okay, right. It is the easiest way to run analytics on IoT data and get insights. Okay, you want to derive something, you want to execute your ML model, you go for IoT Analytics. This is the most important and most frequently used one. And the another important point here is IoT data is highly unstructured. Okay, so it makes it difficult to analyze with traditional analytics. If you want to do manual analytics, you want to do some statistics on that data, it is difficult because it is not structured. Okay, because IoT data comes from devices like temperature, motion, sound, different formats are there, and there is high chance of noisy processes. So definitely we have to do some pre-processing that can be done using AWS IoT Analytics. Okay, so AWS IoT Analytics filters, transforms and enriches the IoT data. Okay, so that is the main use of this AWS IoT Analytics. Then the next plugin is Device Defender, AWS IoT Device Defender. We'll come back to this. Let me explain this what it is. Right? See, this is a fully managed service that helps you secure your fleet of IoT devices. You want to secure the IoT devices. Okay, for that we use this Device Defender. Even our machines have the defender, security defenders. Sometimes we get that pop-up message on our screens, right? So those things, we know that right, we can have the security facility with the Device Defender. What does it does, right? See, IoT Device Defender continuously audits your IoT configurations. It audits your IoT configurations to make sure they aren't deviating from the security best practices. When the IoT device is connected to the cloud, right, this communication what is happening, the message which are coming is continuously monitored. auditing is happening. So there is a defender in between the cloud and the IoT devices, which is taking the control and making sure that the everything is secure, right? Next, a configuration is a set of technical controls you set to keep information secure when devices are communicating with each other and the cloud. So again, device defender is a kind of a program where we have written some security rules. Only these kind of messages can come, only these kind of devices can be connected. No, they should have some key to connect to other devices. So we are writing some rules, we are writing some programs. Device defender is kind of a program, right? So IoT device defender makes it easy to maintain and enforce IoT configurations. Now let's come back to this. Let's understand how does this device defender helps us. Okay, see, there is a device, again Linux capable device, a MCU microcontroller, MCU microcontroller unit is there, right? So it has there is some IoT device client which is connected to that. From there we are downloading the data whatever we want, and we are doing the pre-processing. The device related thing you see here, this is I did not enter into the cloud. This part comes in the cloud, this is all outside, okay, right? So there is something called IoT device management, IoT device defender, and IoT core. These three are different plugins in the AWS, that whole cycle or the pipeline of AWS with IoT, right? So IoT core, connect your device to the AWS cloud. This is used for the connection. Device management, remotely manage your device using jobs or secure tunneling, managing all those devices. And device defender, to monitor the security anomalies or some security breaches happening, right? So this is again, this IoT device defender is everywhere in the cycle of the IoT integration with the cloud. Whenever the data is coming and going, everywhere we are having this defender, okay. IoT core, right? We are talking about this IoT, AWS IoT core. What is this AWS IoT core, right? So it's a managed cloud service that lets connected devices easily and securely interact with the cloud, okay. So core is the center part, name itself says core. Actually IoT devices are first connected with the IoT core, okay. They connect, from there they utilize the IoT services or AWS services, okay. So AWS IoT core can support billions of devices and trillions of messages, and can process and route those messages to AWS endpoints and to other devices. So this falls in the center. Devices is coming and it's accessing all the services, right? With AWS IoT core, your applications can keep track of and communicate with all your devices, okay, all the time, even when they aren't connected, right? Now this important point, you see, AWS IoT core makes it easy to use AWS Lambda, Kinesis, S3, SageMaker. So device, IoT device is connected to IoT core. From core we can connect to all other AWS services, okay. Any service of AWS, any other service of AWS like S3 bucket or Lambda function, right, or Kinesis for stream processing, everything we can you have to connect through core only. So IoT core is a kind of a middleware or a broker which actually helps in connecting the device to the AWS, right? A external hardware device connecting to a IoT core. Next, IoT events, right? So all these are plugins we have already seen in that. Let's see what is this IoT plugin, right? Sorry, IoT event. So it's a fully managed IoT service that makes it easy to detect and respond to events from IoT sensors, okay. So event means some triggers, okay. So some event in terms of cloud, when I talk about event, means data is coming, some trigger happening, some event being executed, right? Some task is being executed, right? So something happens, it helps in detecting and respond to the events. This one helps in maybe message is coming as a single message like this always, and suddenly the message has become one. So one event has happened here, right? So those things can be managed using AWS IoT events. Okay. Events are patterns of data identifying more complicated circumstances than expected. That's what I was saying, no? Always message comes as 000 from the device, suddenly it becomes 1. So there is some change in the pattern. So then an event is created which will automatically respond to that event, take some action. Okay. To detect events before AWS IoT events, you have to build costly custom applications to collect data. That we need not do here. You can just write the rules using AWS IoT events. Green grass. Okay, what is this IoT green grass? AWS IoT green grass seamlessly extends AWS to devices so that they can act locally on the data they generate. Okay, so this green, see here there is an IoT device. I have my cloud here, maybe AWS. Okay, right? So when I talk about green grass, extends AWS to devices so that they can act locally on the data they generate. Okay, so using green grass, we are giving privilege to the device itself to take some decision here, still using the cloud for management, analytics and durable storage. We are using cloud only to store the data, to do some process, to run some complex algorithm on the data, to derive some insights, but I can extend that module into the device itself. Okay, the best example here, you see, we can execute Lambda functions. Okay, with AWS IoT green grass, connected devices can run AWS Lambda functions. See, generally Lambda function is in the cloud. In AWS, I have the Lambda function. I have a device here, right? So from this, we are giving some control to this device. We are giving some control to this device to execute the Lambda functions in the cloud. That is possible using IoT green grass. Okay, run predictions based on ML models, keep device data in sync, communicate with other devices securely. Everything can be done with the help of green grass. Okay, the most important point, even when not connected to the internet, right? Next, free RTOS, very important. This is one operating system, right? So it's an open source, cloud neutral, real time operating system that offers fast, dependable and responsible kernel. Okay, so MIT has developed this open source license where we can connect it. So it's an operating system for microcontrollers that makes small low power edge devices. Okay, so this is one operating system and it provides some facilities for us, right? Next, FleetWise. What is this FleetWise? These are industry specific. The best example of FleetWise is your GPS tracker. Okay, this is kept in a vehicle, right? So when you are talking about GPS data, vehicle data, for that we have to use FleetWise. AWS IoT FleetWise, you can collect and organize vehicle data and store the data in a standardized way for data analysis in the cloud. If you want to do the data analysis in the cloud, we have to use this FleetWise in the AWS. So vehicular data, specifically when you talk about vehicle data. Okay, Fleet helps you efficiently transfer data to the cloud in a near real time using intelligent data collection capabilities. Okay, so this is for again industry specific. FleetWise is clearly for vehicles. Okay, right? Once the data is in the cloud, you can use it for applications that analyze vehicle fleet health. Okay, so this is again a specific one. So if you see how does this works, FleetWise, right? See, AWS FleetWise makes it easier for you to efficiently collect vehicle data, organize it in the cloud so that you can use data to improve vehicle quality, performance and autonomy. Okay, see how does it works? So model, model your vehicle and its sensors in the cloud using FleetWise Designer. Then connect to the target hardware, or that whatever you want to have it, you want to install that sensor or the vehicle, that you connect it. Then define the schema, how the data is going to be generated from that vehicle, how you are going to store it in the schema or the database. Then your edge agent receives the schema and collects vehicle data accordingly. At the end, we transfer the data to AWS, so end users can feed it into analytics applications. Okay. So mostly when we talk about vehicular related data, we have to go for FleetWise. And the most interesting one is Twin Maker. Okay, digital twins. Again, this is also one interesting concept. We are talking about digital twins. It is trending, creating virtual, same as real objects. Okay, you are building some IoT project. You are doing a very big IoT project. In that, you can use digital twin. You can create a digital twin, a virtual image, or a virtual infrastructure, virtual blueprint of what you are going to build, right? Sorry. So this is related to the digital twin. Okay, AWS IoT Twin Maker makes it easier for developers to create digital twins of real world systems such as buildings, factories, industrial equipment and production lines. So again, this is a common twin maker, need not be for IoT, it is generic one. So you want to build a digital twin for some project, for some building which has some IoT devices installed in that, or IoT devices are placed in that building. You want to make a digital twin of that, you can go for IoT Twin Maker, right? Let's understand this. See, IoT data, video data, application data, all those diverse sources for your digital twins. You have this whole data with you. How this Twin Maker can help us? It is used to connect from diverse sources, gather the data, right? Then model, create entities to virtually represent physical systems, and then compose, generate a 3D picture, right? So if you are aware of digital twins, if you might have watched some videos of how we create the 3D visual models. So for IoT specific thing also, we have a IoT Twin Maker. Maybe you are working on a project, you are saying I want to have a smart agriculture, smart farming. There you are having some sensors, you are having some devices placed at multiple locations. All that you want to visualize and see how the data is coming, how they are working. In that case, you can use this Twin Maker. Okay, so though the data is from different sources, right, everything can be connected, and once it is connected, once everything is connected, then we create the model, understand the relation between the data, and then we compose them into a 3D view, right? After that, you can act. You accordingly you take a decision whether it is working fine or not. Okay, so these are different features what we have in the AWS IoT. Okay, so if we summarize what we have seen here, we talked about AWS IoT Analytics, the most important one, which is used for filtering, transforming and enriching the IoT data. Okay, then we have the IoT Device Defender. It's a kind of security layer or a security defender which will make sure that the IoT devices are secure. Whenever there is an IoT configuration with the cloud, that should be secure. What all devices are connected, they should also be secure. Only authenticated devices can connect, right? So this IoT Device Defender ensure device identity, authenticating and authorizing devices, and encrypting the device data. For all these, it is used. So we have seen this, the AWS IoT core. This is the main central part. The IoT device connects to the core first. From there, it goes to access the services of AWS, right? Then device management, it is used to manage all those devices. We talked about OTA, FOTA and OTA, right? Over firmware over the air on OTA. That is related with the IoT device management, where we update remotely, we manage the IoT devices. From the cloud, you are managing the IoT devices. That is what the IoT management. So, core, we understood what is the use of this core, right. To access any of these AWS services, it has to come only through core, IoT core. Okay. Then IoT events. So, it is like some change in the pattern is happening, some trigger we have to generate, that can be generated using this IoT events. Then green grass, this we have seen. So, if green grass is like no, even when there is no internet, the device is connected to the cloud, right. I have some this is connected, but there is no internet connection, but still we give the privilege using green grass, some lambda functions can be executed, right. So, connected devices can run AWS lambda function, run predictions based on machine learning, keep the device data in sync and communicate with each other even when there is no internet. So, green grass is like continuous sending of data from the devices, IoT devices, to the cloud, right. Next, free, again this is an operating system on the this is an OS operating system on the IoT devices, which is used for having supporting the microcontrollers, connecting, it provides all those libraries for edge computing, everything we need to use this free RTOS. This is a core layer what we have in the AWS. Then FleetWise, for vehicle related data we use FleetWise, and then Twin Maker for digital twins. Okay. So, these are different services in AWS IoT.